Ghanatube so it was your former for snowy my sign so at an ICPM made some our draw gum the four corners of Ghana na interpersonal senior matnas and nomedy Belacotier and Sembia Ecoso ever on my name eba never sent for my so Edia Mamma.
What exactly are the reliefs being sought by the minority?
So we know that it was last week that the president wrote to the Speaker of Parliament announcing or informing the House that his pick to be the next Chief Justice following the removal of Getty Tokunu will be Justice for Bafuboni. The president requested expeditious vetting of Bafuboni. The Speaker subsequently referred the nomination to the Appointment Committee. And in fact, I can confirm to you that last week the Appointment Committee met and firmed up Monday 10th November as the day to vet Justice for Bafuboni to become the next Chief Justice. And the minority say they are keeping all cards on the table. And I can confirm to you that this morning, a number of minority MPs, including Kwame Nneduenchi and the Minority Legal Counsel, John Darkman, a couple of their colleagues also involved, have now asked the Speaker to put on hold the vetting. Their claim is that the former Chief Justice, Gertrude Tokono, have actions in court and she is challenging her removal. And so it will not be fair to appoint her successor while she is still in court, asking the court to overturn the decision to remove her from office and reinstate her, and while at the same time the president and parliament are acting to get a new person in office. So their main ask of the Speaker of Parliament, Adam Bagbin, in this memo and motion that they are filing is to the effect that the Speaker of Parliament should put on hold the vetting of Paul Bafuboni until all legal challenges that are currently in court and pending regarding the removal of the former Chief Justice are dealt with.
Now, there are a number of actions in court filed by the former Chief Justice. Do we have a record of them? Do we know how many actions are pending and have not received responses from the court?
Well, from the top of my head, I can count three. The Chief Justice filed one, the former Chief Justice, I should say, filed one at the time that she had not been removed, challenging the processes and the work of the Justice for Man Committee. She filed an injunction application in that matter also. That injunction application was dismissed by the Supreme Court as having no merit. That substantive case has not been dealt with. It is still pending, and parties are still filing their processes to enable the Supreme Court to deal with it. And then the Chief Justice also filed another application for judicial review at the High Court, seeking interpretation or seeking enforcement of her rights. First, she says that the President cannot remove her as Justice of the Supreme Court because the petitions that went to the President were asking for her removal as Chief Justice. We know in that matter the Attorney General has filed a response in court and has asked the High Court to transmit that matter to the Supreme Court because it is a matter of interpretation, and so the Supreme Court will have to do an interpretation on that matter. And so she has filed that action and is currently not dealt with as we speak. And then about 2 weeks ago, she filed a substantive action again at the High Court, asking the High Court by way of judicial review to annul the proceedings of the Justice for Man Committee because she believes that the proceedings were tainted with unconstitutionality, irregularity, among other things. That is her view, and she is saying that she ought to be reinstated as Chief Justice. So from the top of my head, there are at least three matters that are in the name of the former Chief Justice herself, apart from those ones in the name of Vincent Ekwasafua, Kabila, and the like. There are a number of court actions in court. But when it comes to Justice Getty Tokunu, or former Justice Getty Tokunu, she has three actions in her name, all geared at reinstating her to the bench of the Supreme Court and as Chief Justice. And that is why the minority are saying that until all these legal disputes are resolved, it is not appropriate to appoint a successor.
And are they expecting a ruling on this injunction they're seeking?
Well, the Speaker of Parliament would have to make a determination, and I suspect the Speaker of Parliament will do so quite expeditiously, especially because the vetting of the nominee is scheduled to be held on the 10th of November. And so a decision would have to be taken before then. And so the Speaker does not have any timelines to do this, but the minority may push. And in fact, we expect that today the leader may raise this on the floor and urge the Speaker to expedite a decision on this. The majority will also have their say because, in fact, they have all been opposed to all of this. They say that simply because an action is in court should not injunct an entire arm of government from proceeding. And so we are expecting a battle, political battle, when it comes to this matter.
Thank you very much, Kwasante. I wonder if you have any thoughts, Blessed.
Let's start from Parliament, where the minority is lashing out at the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, over his recent public pronouncements on ongoing state prosecutions. The AG's press briefings have sparked a firestorm, with a lawyer to the minority describing this press briefings as unconstitutional, biased, and nothing more than cheap political expedience.
Well, the latest is the allegation against former CEO of the National Buffer Stock Company, who has been accused of misappropriating over 78 million cedis from the accounts of the company. The couple have been accused of blowing the fortune on property, including buildings, cars, expensive watches, bags, among others. Now, speaking at a press conference in Parliament today, the Minorities Legal Counsel and MP for Suame, John Dako, said the Attorney General's public remarks about ongoing prosecutions amount to pronouncing suspects guilty before fair trial begins.
Working free. 200 million. Why is he not talking about that? Why is that forcing the finance minister? When he was involved in a criminal case before the court, he felt the need to withdraw that case, and yet he feels that it's okay to prosecute other people and destroy their integrity even before the people get a chance to open their cases in the court. An accountable government should follow through and collect all the money. These people, I just mentioned, also embezzle. He is not being accountable. He is just engaging in theatrics. He is engaging in populism. He is engaging in politics to destroy the integrity of people. Let's be clear here. We in the minority, we are not against accountability. Indeed, we believe that everyone should be accountable for his stewardship. Indeed, as a government in 2029, the next NPP government, who hold the current NDC government accountable, we believe in accountability. What we are against is the biased press trial which the Attorney General seems to reveal in, to the extent that he's virtually pronouncing the guilt of accused persons even before they get a chance to open their cases before the court. The AG says he's into this media circus because he doesn't want to be referred to as an incompetent Attorney General because he wasn't an incompetent lawyer. Please, Mr. Attorney General, competent AGs don't prosecute their cases in the court of public opinion. Competent AGs prosecute their cases in the court where evidence are subject to strict proof. In criminal trials, he has a responsibility to prove his case beyond reasonable doubt. This is where you go. Put the evidence before the court. Let the lawyers from the other parties scrutinize the evidence. If you stand the test of time and the court pronounces them guilty, so be it. Why do you bring the evidence to the media for just this media circus to destroy the image of people even before they get a chance to open their defenses?
Well, beyond the alleged abuse of the right of the accused persons, John Dako says the AG's action is also a gross breach of the 1992 Constitution.
When you got the opportunity to question him, put it to him. Let him understand that this is not right. How do you pronounce the guilt of people even before they get a chance to open their cases? We must all rise up against these issues. These constitutional violations of this administration should not be countenanced, shouldn't be tolerated. And it is gradually tearing down our constitutional guardrails. And the fact that we allow this distraction to continue means that we are removing the limited government that the people of Ghana voted for. Our constitution requires that we are restrained, and when a government is restrained, it is to protect the dignity and integrity of the people. What he is doing to Ghanaians, not foreigners. The constitution requires this. The constitution stated that you are innocent until proven guilty. That is what Article 19 says. And if a particular government official continues to violate this constitutional guardrail and actually says that people are guilty until they are proven innocent, it is a violation of the constitution and we must rise up against it.
Well, the minority leader himself, Alexander Fenyo-Marking, has also been taking on the Attorney General.
Since they assumed office, apart from the PR, when they are hot, they only come and then announce a so-called corruption, they are investigating someone. That's their playbook now. Anytime government is under pressure, Attorney General would do a press conference. Attorney General's place is in the court. My respected friend, the MP, who is an Attorney General and his deputy, I want them to know that their place is in the court.
But they also want to duty to update us, to be transparent.
Oh, please.
In what you're doing.
Please. When they are updating you and undermining the authority of the court and disrespecting the rights of people, pronouncing guilty even before going to court, perhaps they are waiting for Bafuboni to become a chief justice so that they control the court, which I'm finding, I wonder how they are going to achieve.
You're suggesting that if Bafo-Boni becomes the CJ, they'll come.
Well, they've said so. They've said so. At least we hear them saying that they want their CJ and then they can have their preferred judges. That's what they are saying. But we wait to see. We wait to see. That is why they prefer to be in the media, to talk about people's guilt. But it is not in their place to pronounce guilt. The rule of law requires a go to court, make a case.
Well, he was.
And some about for comments, comment section. I measure I can kindly na ediamon. Answer na mesa must make a Ghanatube so in Sambia a course of ewo or mining no answer ever subscribe na hit notification bell no for quick updates. See ya dear Macau.